Sector Tier 5, Hyderabad. Mr. Karthik completed his undergraduate program BS Honours from Rutgers University, where he was a James J. Slade Scholar. Mr. Karthik strongly believes in the power and potential of an excellent education for all children, schools, families, and the future of India. He currently serves as director at Teach for India, a national movement to end educational inequity in India. Karthik leads Hyderabad city operations, overseeing the development on 150 fellows and staff members, nearby impacting nearly 4,000 children across 38 low-income private and government schools. I welcome Shri Karthik Rapaka sir onto the stage. I request Gayatri to hand over to present the bouquet to Karthik sir. I request sir to address the gap.
And I'm extremely humbled today to be here and be part of this Empower 2.0 talks hosted by Yuvavarthi and Akella Raghavendra Foundation. So very quickly, how many of the audience members have heard of Teach for India? If you can raise your hands. Okay, there's a good portion of people, and so I'm actually representing two aspects of my personality. One as an organizational representative, and two as an individual who's socially conscious and at the same time who's part of Hyderabad. So we are part of Teach for All. Teach for All has been around for the last decade or so, and its vision is one day all children will attain an excellent education. And as you can see, there is all and excellent that are highlighted. We truly believe that it need not be, or it should not be, a child who is born in a more privileged family. It could be, or it should be, every child, and that's the emphasis on the all. And also excellent education, and I truly believe that excellence is not just a function of the marks that you attain or the institutions that you go, but the way we see it is, as per the theme it says, right, for every child in school. Now, whether the child is in school or at home, as an individual, we would like to believe that excellence is defined as a pursuit of course, academic achievement, but also, most importantly, human values and mindsets that are necessary for an individual to go on, onto a lifetime of a journey, and also exposure and access to different kind of opportunities. If you actually click a little more, a couple of times, you'll see that the same vision holds not just in Teach for India, which has been around for the last 7 years, but across, there are right now over 40 countries which do the same thing. I mean, whether you are in Mexico or whether it's in United States or New Zealand, anywhere, inequity is there. Not every child is getting an opportunity to attain an excellent education, and it's important that we anchor ourselves into this very grand, majestic vision that one day all children will attain an excellent education. So who am I representing? What am I doing here? It's actually, I'm just one of the many thousands of people here who are working towards that vision that one day all children will attain an excellent education. And it's not possible with one individual. It is not possible in just restricting ourselves or constraining ourselves to one location or one geography. And it's just a collation of different pictures, different people, my own association with Teach for India in the last 4 years. So if you go to the next slide, very quickly, I'm originally from Hyderabad, but I was lucky to get an opportunity to study abroad, and a distant family friend sponsored my education for $45,000 without asking. So somebody believed in the potential of an individual, saying that, okay, if this individual gets an excellent education, maybe he or she will make the most out of it. And I took it up and I never looked back. I actually studied there for 4 years, and I worked for 5 years to knock off the loan of $45,000. So these are all the institutions that I was part of, just to work around my way to make sure that I repay back the loan that I got, the gift that I got. And for 9 years I was thinking, what is my way of being Anand? His name is Anand. I thought never in my life I'll be able to loan or let alone earn $45,000. So I thought my way of being it is like, maybe I should, I've heard of Teach for America then. They were coming to Hyderabad, so I thought I'll give my time. I'll give 2 years of my time, full time, to teach in a low-income primary school or a government school. And actually, even before I go further, how many of you growing up, or like, even, I don't see children here, but how many of you thought you'll become a primary school teacher growing up? Okay. Yeah. So there are two or three people, right? So it's not an aberration. It's a sad reality of the state of affairs today, wherein the profession I was sharing with Mayur earlier. A couple of generations ago, being a headmaster or a school principal was something that is very highly regarded. Maybe a generation ago, becoming a professor or a lecturer in a university setting is still regarded. But for our generation, at least for the most of us who are gathered here, to imagine that you'll become a primary school teacher, I think it's almost a sin right now. It's very sad. So, I mean, my journey is 9 years of going abroad, working, repaying loan, and then deciding to become a primary school teacher in a Tappa Chabutra area, Karwan, old city of Hyderabad, where I taught for 2 years. After 2 years, I took on Teach for India role here to oversee operations here. So we are right now around 150 fellows across like 45 schools, and we are touching around 4,500 children. The model is very simple. You get people like me who are graduates. Your age could be 19 to 65, no restrictions. If you have the passion to teach, and if you can commit 2 years of your lifetime, I think Teach for India will consider you, and then we are given the training, and then we are placed as a teacher, then it's a phenomenal experience. Coming to the core content of what I would like to talk, what I did is really, I went back to my teaching days, and I brought in snippets that embody what we define as leadership. So Sohail when I started as a new teacher, he was 6 years old, and on day one, Sohail asked me, "Bhaiya, आप हमें कैसे मारोगे? आप मुझे लकड़ी से मारोगे, PVC pipe से मारोगे, मुझे कुर्सी बिठाओगे, is this right? गोड़ कुर्सी अंदर है, और मुर्गी बनाओगे. So these are the 4 options that a 6-year-old child gives to a new teacher on day one, right? So, I mean, I was shocked, because that is what is expected by a child, by a new teacher. It's unfortunate, but so when I started teaching, it's a small half, maybe 1/3 of this stage, where there's no wall plastering, no flooring. Those are the conditions of some of our schools. So we start teaching there, we start from alphabets, and Sohail really, I mean, embodied, if you click a couple of times, there's a lot of fear. I mean, you couldn't see maybe in the bottom there, it says fear. There's a theory, it's called Kohlberg's theory, where each one of us, even adults, we start from fear, then we do things because of gifts, and then we do it because of somebody else, and then finally comes you do something because you believe in that. So, you click a couple of times. The 2 lessons that I've learned from Sohail is, be vulnerable. I mean, it's okay. There's no way you cannot have fears. I mean, Sohail was equally scared to ask that question, but he was bold enough to put it out there, right? He spoke the feelings of maybe 30 other children in the classroom. And one of the, learnings for me is, yes, we are all vulnerable, but at the same time, we have to try and come out of our fears. That's one of the leadership snippets I believe is crucial, because if we are not stepping out of our fears, I don't think, because fear is natural, but be vulnerable at the same time being bold is crucial. And I thought it's a great life lesson that Sohail has taught me that I still carry very close to my heart today. So there are 2 other kids. You can't see Imtiaz there, huh? So it's a story of twin children like Maria and Imtiaz. Both of them, within my classroom. But I spoke to their mother, and they said, both my children, there's no education in my family, and the mother broke down, saying that my children can't learn, can't read. And honestly, like I mean, after of course like working with the children, and they're no less than you and me. It's just that the belief was not there, or shaken a little bit. So we wanted to show that Maria and Imtiaz are no less, and they are equally capable, and they have, the potential. And if, we are committed, the kids will show out what they are capable of. So the other leadership snippets that I got from that experience is, Maria and Imtiaz, unfortunately, they had to drop out of school midway in the year because they were constructing a home somewhere near Narsingi, and our school is in Karwan. But they both of them got admitted into a newer school, and the father realized that both of these kids are doing relatively better in that Narsingi school than what they were considering their children were capable of. So it was very interesting as to how Maria and Imtiaz's father used to drive back from Narsingi to Karwan every day because he didn't want them to go to that newer school, but he realized the value of, say, being in a classroom where learning is happening and their kids are being able to really, meet their potential. So the other two snippets that I have to share is I think it's important to help others taste success. I don't think it is always about our individual success, but it's crucial to help others become successful. And in their success, we derive the joy. And then they will come back because you've set a benchmark, not only for yourself, not only for themselves, but also for yourself. The other story I would like to share is Sifan. So when I was teaching in this school, it was a second grade classroom with kids age 6 to 11. So it's a multi-year, multi-grade classroom. And Sifan is the eldest of them, 11 years age in grade 2. He went to a madrasa for 4 years. He didn't know a letter of English, but he was getting humiliated by other, similar age children. Hey, you are 11 years hai, abhi bhi tu second class mein pad raha hai, chote bachon ke saath baith ke. And, it was second grade. And in 2 years' time, we got him ready to go to 7th grade straight. And he's completed 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, like all standards, like sheer hard work, determination. I think he had the hunger, and I think we gave him the resources on a timely basis so that he went on. I'm happy to inform. So I recollect in 2012, I was there with him in 2nd grade. He knew that by 2016, he has to write the 10th grade. He did write 10th grade this year. And then he passed out in grade. So it's just having a high bar for yourself and also for others around. I think it's extremely important not to belittle the potential or to ignore or to almost consider anybody lesser. And I think that belief is a fundamental thing. And I would like to share that the two people there are my parents. And when I chose to move back from the US to India, they thought he's done, he's crazy, he's gone, right? Earning whatever you're earning in Deloitte, you've worked close to a decade to get there, and then you want to come become a primary school teacher in. It was very emotional for them to see the classroom. I think conviction internally, I think it's extremely crucial. And maybe when we take these offbeat decisions, the family or the friends and everybody else won't, give you a platform. I mean, of course, this platform also, right? It takes a while for you to get there, but until then, you need to have the conviction to keep yourself going. You can actually click a couple of times. Yeah, so I think most important thing I derived from my own fellowship experience, the old gentleman there, I saw him 4 times in 2 years. I only saw him on, a Republic Day and an Independence Day. He used to come and he used to buy, the national flags, and he used to pin to the children for all of my classroom children. So I think, in general, sometimes especially in the entrepreneurial decision making, you almost feel like you are lonely, but I think it's far from reality. There are a lot of like-minded people. There are a lot of people who really want to support and see the success of not only yourself, but the stakeholders that we are touching. So it's important to communicate, collaborate, and co-create with people around and find people who want to do something, and it's important for us to keep that in mind. And the final bit is I do want to share the story of Kamran. So we went to this Nehru Zoological Park. It was April and it was hot, like 44 degrees, and yet Kamran wouldn't take away his sweatshirt, right? And he was adamant that I will be like this. I know, but I want this on my body. And each one of us, like as children, I think it's very natural to have fun, and I think somewhere we lose it, or at least I sense that we kind of become a little bit serious. So I think that's one of the important lessons for me to, of course, laugh with others and not at others. That's a crucial one as well. Finally, I think, click a couple of times. Yeah, that's it. So my synthesis or my takeaway from all of this journey has been purely 3 commitments. I mean, of course, everybody's on a different journey. Everybody's got, a leadership angle. But I think 3 things, right? If you want to be in a position of service or leadership or entrepreneurship or change making, it is important we are committed to our own personal transformation, because I think it's extremely crucial for us to change ourselves before anything else. And some of these things that I shared earlier from the student stories resonate with this commitment to personal transformation. I think unless we are learning and growing, I don't think there is any hope to change anything else outside of us. Then the second thing is commitment to collective action. Extremely important to not be lonely along this journey, but be able to go along with group of people and be inclusive in our approaches, so that we are co-creating the future, and it's not a journey of a self alone, but it's a journey of all of us. The final one is a commitment to educational equity, because I think irrespective of where we are on our respective journeys, our country and the demographic dividend will not play out until all of our children meet their true potentials, and for that we truly need access to excellent quality education. And excellence is a long journey as well. So it's important that we stay true to at least or all of these 3 commitments: commitment to personal transformation, commitment to collective action, and commitment to really solving the problem in the long run. Because if not for any of these things, it's very hard to keep us going in a way that makes us or takes us closer to the vision that one day all children will attain an excellent education. So with that, I would like to thank you and thank Yuva Bharati and Akella Raghavendra Foundation for giving me this opportunity. So thanks a lot. Yeah.